And hit it.
And hit it. And
Good morning.
good morning. You have been officially toggled.
I am showered and toggled, so it sounds to me like I'm ready to go.
Well, yes, you are. How are you?
I'm good. I made a breakfast smoothie this morning with strawberries and bananas and blueberries and peanut butter and yogurt. And
You didn't make it the way that I usually make it and Shirley MacLaine make it with vodka.
Yes, I used milk instead of vodka.
And it was delicious.
It was delicious.
Good.
Just mix it up a little.
Good. Good for you. How was your weekend so far?
It's good. I got a little political yesterday.
Did you go to a rally?
I
That-
may have gone to a rally. I
Okay.
may have held a couple signs. I may have
Okay.
marched on Market Street from
Okay.
the foot of Market Street to Civic Center. I may have done that
Mm-hmm.
with others.
I was very impressed. Christine Freeman, a friend of the pod, but also a guest of the pod,
Yes.
posted this really amazing photo of Ocean Beach. Have you
Yes, they've
seen
done
that?
it in the past.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, humans gather and spell out a certain
spelled it.
message.
They spelled it out.
And they spelled it real good.
They stuck it home.
Yeah, so this is the third rally that they've done since last year, but I've not been able to participate in the previous ones because of
Mhm.
scheduling conflicts. But I
Right.
thought, you know what? Mom can wait till tomorrow. Well, now today.
Right.
So I will go see her today after this. But
Nice.
I just wanted to do my part.
Good.
So it's good. It
Well-
was peaceful. It was a beautiful day out. Got some
Mhm.
steps in, I checked off a lot of boxes. I had over 15,000 steps yesterday.
Wow. That's amazing. If I get to 10, I'm happy.
Yeah. So how about you? How's your weekend?
Really good. Just so people know, and this episode will have already come out, but today, our first episode of season 3 actually downloaded and went out to the ether. So I hope everyone went to go and listen to it and subscribed and loved it and adored it and paid homage to it.
I've started it on YouTube, but I hit pause so I can, join you
Okay.
live and in person right here.
That's right. So, yeah. And then we had a puff pastry palooza last night. So Simon and Alicia came over. They walked over too. So everyone's in the walking vibe these days. They walked over from their house, which wasn't too far, but it was a really nice evening. We did a couple of delicious puff pastry savories, and it was really nice, really good evening. Of course,
Oh,
the wine
nice.
flowed. The
What
wine
a
was
shocker.
flowing.
Good for you.
Yeah. I think should we take a break and come back and ready to toss it around?
Well, if we have to go there, yes.
Okay, well, let's toss it
Well-
around.
We'll toss some things.
Okay. Be right back.
Welcome back to Don and Gary doing 60. You got to plug that name,
Yeah. We're glad you joined us. And if you see us wandering around later, just point us towards the parking lot. We're here to unpack and unwrap and navigate the world at this age. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify. You can watch us on YouTube at Pfeiffer Pod. That's our channel. We've got all the old episodes there, a lot of shorts, a lot of good, fun stuff on there. So please come and join us, like and subscribe when you get there. So Gary, how are you?
I'm good. We were talking about our weekend. So
Yes.
after my little, political stroll, I met up with a friend and we went out to dinner. And I'm not using bad language when I say we had some pho.
For what?
We had pho for dinner.
For dinner? You had
For
pho
dinner.
for dinner?
We went for dinner. We had pho. That's
Pho.
PHO. Vietnamese, like a noodle dish and soup and broth and beef and so on. So
Oh,
a
nice.
beautiful night out. So we went out for pho, and it's down the street from Mitchell's Ice Cream. If you know Mitchell's Ice Cream,
Yes.
it's in the Mission District, very famous. It's been around
Yes,
since the early
yes.
50s, family owned, and really, really good ice cream. So, and we were a block away from there. So how could we not?
Right? Why deny
So
yourself?
we grabbed some ice cream there and then polished off that real quickly. And then headed home.
Don't you love it when San Francisco just has the spectacular weather? And I'm sure it makes you appreciate it even that much more for being in such a
Oh,
beautiful
yeah.
city.
I mean, I told you about a week ago, I was on a Friday night and it was in Hayes Valley, which is a great neighborhood and tons of restaurants and it's near the Opera House. And so there's a lot of venues nearby. So there's people out and about and every restaurant was just overflowing. In fact, that night I ran into the person who is our guest today.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I was at a restaurant and it was crowded at the entrance and they don't do table service. So basically, you grab the first table available. And behind me, I hear, Gary. I turn around, is Lisa, our guest coming on today.
Really?
Who she was there with a friend finishing dinner because they were going to catch a show at the Symphony. So she gave us her table. So we scored and got a table right away.
I love it.
So
now, is Hayes Valley this? And I know of Hayes Valley, but was it the same when they blocked off part of the street and they have a parklet now and you can walk and that's the beginning of Hayes Valley?
Right. So there used to be the freeway ramp that would, and so they tore that down and they turned that into a park and it's been there for years and it's great. And it's a great gathering spot for people. And then that night, Hayes Street, like one block of it, they blocked off. Apparently they do this on Friday and Saturday nights.
Nice.
Just to give people more opportunity to be outdoors. And so they block off one block and the restaurants can then bring out more tables and they had a band playing and, kids are running down the street.
Nice.
So it's just a fun, easy Friday night on a beautiful night weather-wise.
Yes.
And everyone was out. And I said, all the restaurants are overflowing. And it was just and then we went out for ice cream after that.
Nice.
And just hung out at that little park you mentioned. Yeah. So it's a great neighborhood. I was there 3 times in 1 week.
Well, good for you. But here's a funny story. That overpass that you mentioned that was not there anymore. I actually remember that overpass.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Driving in from the city because I have one story with another former friend of the pod, former guest Jamie Litzy, and I driving my blue 1974 Volkswagen, which caught fire on that overpass coming in as the gasket had crackled away and the engine literally caught fire. I look up and I looked in the back, literally flames coming out of my rearview mirror. I looked at Jamie and said, we got to get out of here. So I pulled the car over. Quick story. Pulled the car over, poor little blue Volkswagen. This happens quite a lot to older Volkswagens, just so you know. Basically, it was on fire. I ran that way. Jamie ran that way. And I'm trying to say, you got to come over here. We got to go this way. And she said, no, I'm not going to run past a car that's on fire. Then all of a sudden, a taxi driver stopped. I said, oh, they're going to help us. Took a picture, handed me the picture, get it for insurance. And he took off.
Wow.
It was like a comical, I could never restage it, although I would love to restage it somehow because it's so ridiculous about how that took place.
Well, this has to be a long time ago. So he must have used a Polaroid camera to take the photo.
We're talking a long time ago. I won't date myself by dating this event, but it would be, again, when the time of that overpass still being in place in San Francisco. Me driving, let's say, a 74 Volkswagen, which was not the year it was, but.
Right.
Anyway, so it's a good story.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a funny
story.
Wow,
that's funny.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes. Anyway. So do we want to talk about our guest a little bit?
Yes. So shocker, everyone, sit down. Our guest is someone we know from high school.
Mm-hmm.
I might know her from middle school, too. I'll have to test her.
Okay.
But like me, she has worked for the same employer for many years. She retired last year. But yeah, it's been a friend of ours for all those years, which is in how many years you guys know now? I'd lost count,
6 or 7.
46 years since we graduated high school. So actually longer than that. Anyway, math is hard. We will do it later. But know from high school, big in the music industry, her connection to music. So we'll talk about that. As I mentioned, she retired last year. That was a big party that I hosted last fall for her and our other guest, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Since they both retired last year. So we had a great time with that. So we'll see what she's been up to since retirement. I know she's done some traveling, taking advantage of that. In fact, she squeezed this episode in because she's off to travel again.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she's going to Spain, but we'll hear about that. So yeah, we'll just see, is retirement all it's cracked up to be?
Yes, I would love to talk about that. But I'd also like to talk about some of the celebs that she's been hobnobbing with her.
Yes.
her last job that she just left, that she retired from.
Right.
There's certain people that I truly do admire. I was hoping to meet them myself, but of course she kept them all to herself because that's how she is.
Are any of them of the male persuasion?
They could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why. So
It's been a podcasting palooza for us.
This will be the third episode we've recorded this week.
Yes, and our first, as I said, just dropped today, although this will be coming out much later than that. So we've been very busy bee.
So is our guest in the waiting room yet?
He literally just knocked on the door.
Okay,
Let's put that in next time. We'll do a knocking.
Who's that knocking at the door?
That too. But let's see what's
Who's
happening.
that ringing the bell?
Let's make sure she's toggled. I see her name.
Show us your face. There she is. She went away. There she is.
Oh, there she is. Hey, Lisa.
Because you guys are perfect now.
Okay.
Well, we were always perfect.
Yes.
It was just
you're
the connection
perfecter now.
that. We're perfecter.
Oh, perfecter. Okay. Well, then all that came before this will be gone, and we will just start anew. We'll do,
Through the magic of podcasting, we eliminate the previous cod. There, gone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to our guest, Lisa. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. So we did talk a little bit about you, but all good before you joined us, saying that what a shocker, someone else from high school that we know. We knew a lot of people. We know a lot of people, and we keep in touch with a lot of people.
Yes.
Lisa's been one of those that we've kept in touch because she's, at least for me, local. So we have more opportunity to see each other. I mentioned to Don that you and I ran into each other a week ago in Hayes Valley.
Right.
You were leaving the restaurant. I was getting there. So you graciously gave us your table, which is great.
Because it was
there was
really
a lot
hard.
of people waiting in line.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Did you cause a lot of discord, though, when everyone who was waiting for a table just like, oh, you can slip in here?
No. We did it very, very nonchalantly, very quietly
Okay.
under the table. Yeah.
So to speak.
It's very casual. Yes. Anyway, thank you for joining us. And if my memory serves me correctly, we also went to the same middle school together, Burrell, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
All right. So you've always been a local gal. Were you born and raised here in the Bay Area?
I was born in San Mateo General Hospital.
Oh.
So
Where's San Mateo General Hospital? Because I was born in Mills.
In the 40s. It's sort of above Molly Stone's, so it's on the north.
I didn't know those. Is the hospital still there?
There is a hospital. It's like a community hospital.
Okay. Because I never knew that existed. But yeah, okay. So born and raised here and from high school, we know each other. And then you say local because I did a little digging. You went to college at San Francisco State University.
Correct. Yeah.
And so you've
haven't
never lived
far.
outside the Bay Area, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And because music is such a big part of your life, was music from a very young age part of your life? I mean, were your parents musicians or in the music industry?
My mom, mostly my mom, wanted to start me on violin, and I started when I was 4.5. And I found a teacher that lived in San Mateo who was the first Japanese member of the San Francisco Symphony hired, and he lived in San Mateo, and somehow my mom found him. And he started me out, had a quarter-size violin, which is very, very little. And just started from there. I always found it funny that my mom found the only Japanese teacher that didn't teach Suzuki, because Suzuki method was just starting to come in vogue, and it started in Japan. And I just always thought that was funny.
And so have you only played violin, or did you ever branch out to other instruments?
When I was 7, I started piano, and I took piano for about 10 years. Piano was my dad's favorite instrument, and violin was my mom's. So I broke my dad's heart by quitting the piano at 17 because I was tired of practicing all the time and I wanted to go have fun with my friends.
Right. And so was the job with the symphony like right out of high school or college, or?
No, not at all. No. When I was in college, I started working at Franklin Templeton. It was just called Franklin Resources back then. also in San Mateo.
I did a short gig with them too. Yeah.
So I started working with them when they were on Beauvais, which is right where 24 Hour is now. Really close to Burrell. And I worked with them for about 9 years. And then I went and worked for a private real estate developer for 6 years. And then I worked for a government agency that protects open space called Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District. I worked there for 8 years. And then I started at the Symphony and I was there for 21 years. That's my resume.
Yeah. See, that's your resume. But also listed on LinkedIn, you've been performing with the Berkeley Symphony for over 40 years.
I know. It's a long time.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
It is pretty crazy and amazing. Yeah, I auditioned in college. I hate auditioning. I'm not good at auditioning. I was accepted into Berkeley and I've clung on to that ever since and haven't left them because I don't want to ever audition ever again.
And how often do you perform with them?
They have 4 subscription concerts and then they get hired to play. Like we played with Beck a couple of times and we played at the Greek Theater with Plácido Domingo. And we play quite a bit at Cal Performances when there's a visiting ballet company. So I played with the Bolshoi and a couple of times with the Bolshoi and the Joffrey Ballet, and there's another one. So that's always fun. We used to play a lot. Every year we used to play with Mark Morris and do the hard nut, which was his take of the Nutcracker, which was really funny. It's very well done and very humorous. But it's all Tchaikovsky's music. The music didn't change, just what's going up on stage. So that's fun.
So there's a lot of perks being involved with them, even though you don't like to audition, which you wouldn't have to after
once you're in,
X number of years, right? Yeah, exactly. It's like a club.
But like even in college, I got to perform. I had a friend who was very talented. He is very talented. He was a composer. He was very involved with the St. Mary's Cathedral. And when Pope John Paul came to Candlestick Park, he put together a group and composed a piece, and a bunch of us got to play on the field with him, just feet away. So that was pretty amazing thing to do. So yeah, my violin has definitely let me have a lot of amazing experiences.
Now, I do have a question. Do you still have the little tiny violin you started with when you started? The little tiny one? Is it this big? Or is it this big?
Hard to say.
Do you like
film it, it's small.
But you still have it. Okay. And another question with regard to all those amazing people that you were people and groups that you perform with, did any of the groups or people ever affect you or make you nervous in your performance?
I think when I started out, I was much more nervous performing, but I played in a youth orchestra and that sort of helped me get over nerves more or less. And even performing in college, that was nerve wracking too, because you have to play recitals and things. And, if you do it more and more, for me at least, I get less nervous. Like now I don't really get nervous unless I
well, and I assume most of those were symphony orchestras. So have you ever done quartets or smaller pieces where you were one of the solo?
Yeah.
Oh, really? And that doesn't nerve you out. That's okay too.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you know the music, and usually you're playing with your friends. So, you're having fun that way. And it would have to be pretty unusual for me to get nervous nowadays.
Good for you.
And back in high school, did you perform with the choir or the band or any of?
Yeah, with the orchestra, at Aragon. It was just really a string group. We never played with the winds, but we would perform.
Are the wind people not fun or what?
There'd be a winter concert and a spring concert that we did with the court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the woodwinds suck. We don't like them. It's only strings.
They had their own band.
They're just weird people. They're weird.
Lisa, I have a random question for you because I seem to have a memory which might be the vapor from the wine that I drank last night. Was there a point at one point in your time when we were all at school together that you played a barefooted Fiddler in the Roof?
Yes, that was with the chorus. Yeah. Good
That's what I
job.
thought. I
You still
remember
have
that.
some
I
brain
remember
cells.
that.
Awesome.
Right, just this one, but yeah.
Wow.
And that was for what performance was that?
It
Do you
was like
remember?
the
You just told
spring
me.
chorus concert or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you had like torn trousers or pants. I don't think you had shoes on. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And you wore a little hat. You're basically Tevye?
No, well, there is a fiddler if you see the movie or
Oh, that's
even
right. Sorry.
in the plays,
Okay.
there is an actual fiddler. So my
Okay.
brother
I
played
thought
Tevye
so. I
though.
knew that was you.
My brother played Tevye.
Really?
He went to Sarah High School and he played Tevye there, which was fun.
Nice.
So was his life also filled with music, or were you the musical one?
Well,
in the group?
he learned the trombone. He quit when he got braces because he said it hurt. So,
Sure it did.
but he really got into acting. He did a lot of acting in high school and a little bit beyond that. He has a very outgoing personality, so
Okay.
he's very gregarious, outgoing.
So it's needless to say that your violin has been your meal ticket.
Well, it's opened a lot of doors, and I've been able to
Yes.
have a lot of amazing experiences with it. Definitely.
Yes, it sounds amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about some more of those.
Well,
people.
and she's name dropped. I mean, she mentioned the Pope. She mentioned Plácido Domingo.
Yeah.
I mean, any stories you want to
No,
share?
this
I'm
is-
just
Anyone
But-
like
just between the three
You
of
guys,
us.
you guys interviewed Gigi, so your audience might
Yes.
remember her.
Yeah.
She and I
Yes.
were at State together, and she heard about opportunities to usher at Davies Symphony Hall when it opened.
Uh-huh.
And so we signed up, and I signed up my mom. And so I think we were there the first inaugural week it was open, volunteer ushering. And my mom was ushering on the main level, the orchestra level, and I think I was upstairs somewhere. And I came down at intermission just to see how she was doing, how it was going. And she's like, "Oh, guess what? You're going to have dinner with Isaac Stern tonight." And I'm like, "What? What?"
what?
And she's like, "Yeah, I just sat the president of his fan club and they're taking him out. He was a soloist. They're taking him out for dinner in Chinatown. And I told him that my daughter plays the violin and was studying in college. And he was like, "Oh, well, we have an extra seat." And my mom said, "Oh, well, my daughter would love to go." So, yeah, I had one of those moms. And so I'm looking at her going, "Well, how are you going to get home? You know, 'cause I drove you here. How are you going to get home?" She's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll just call your father and he'll come and get me. And you just go."
Oh, so she didn't go to the dinner, but
No.
she got you
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I just always thought it was funny that, years later I'd be working at San Francisco Symphony and, meeting all the guest artists and, sometimes having dinner with them or whatever. And, that might have been the start of it all.
So was that ushering position your foot in the door?
No.
Or
No, not all.
because San Francisco Symphony, I mean,
Yeah.
at least in the Bay Area, I mean, it's a big deal. So
I
what was your
never knew
impetus
that
to get
one
there?
could have a career working for a symphony. It just never was a thing when I was in college. You
Mhm.
can now get a degree in arts administration, but they didn't have that back then. And so it never really occurred to me that you could work for a symphony orchestra. And so I didn't really think about it until I was really at the open space district. I was just scrolling around and looking at jobs, and I was looking at the ballet and the opera and the symphony. And, eventually a job popped up at the symphony that was sort of mirrored what I was doing. A very administrative, like an administrative assistant type thing. It was like, well, I could do that, and so I applied for it and got it after many, many, many interviews.
Hmm.
Do you think your having played in other orchestras prior to this helped get you in? I mean, did any of your music background get you in?
Having a musical background, I think, was helpful.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But it wasn't the primary reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So as you were growing up, even though you had music in your life from a very young age, when you think about college and graduation and getting a job, music wasn't the forefront. It was like, it'll be nice to have, but it'll be a side thing. I'll get this job and music will still be in my life in some way.
Yeah. Like I said, I was in college and then I got the job at Franklin and I got used to getting a steady paycheck and I had health insurance and I got paid vacation and, so it was a very steady income thing. And then the music was sort of a bonus, I would get paid for gigs here and there. And I knew I didn't want to become a teacher. That wasn't my strength. And I knew that. So yeah, I sort of took, like, Franklin was my business school and then I, had my music on the side. So, it just has always worked out for me. I've been very fortunate that wherever I've worked, my supervisors were very generous in letting me have time off to perform. So that was very fortunate too.
So speaking of bonuses, maybe we should talk about, and I would like the personal phone number too, Seth MacFarlane, because apparently he was one of the people that you work with, and I have a small man crush on him. So I'll take his phone number offline and his address. Thanks.
No problem. So, I'll get that to you.
Okay. So you do, like you mentioned, sorry to jump over there, but you did have quite a few people you experienced and got to meet afterwards. I'm assuming that not everyone you went to dinner with, but you run into a lot of people you had before, but also with the symphony, I'm sure you had lots of highbrow celebrities that you were able to meet, right?
Yeah. In the department, I worked in the artistic planning department. And so that department hires and, does the logistics for and pays all the guest artists, whether guest conductors or the soloists, performers. And so by virtue of that, it gave an excuse to go downstairs and say hello and welcome them and make sure they had everything they need. So you learn pretty quickly that, they're just people and they just, want the support and you don't want to be like a fan. You don't want to go, fanboy on them. You want to keep your cool. You can, your head is going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But, one-on-one, you have to.
But on the outside, you're Miss Cool.
You have to be pretty professional. So yeah, there were definitely, we were fortunate in that we were able to hire quite a few, like stars, like Lauren Bacall. I held her dog so that she could see her dog while she was narrating a piece because it was an emotional pet for her and she just needed to see her dog.
Wow.
So there was many, many people like Seth MacFarlane and Cheyenne Johnson and Rita Moreno.
Oh my God.
At one gala, I was just standing in the hallway when I looked to my left and Robin Williams was standing next to me. And, I was just like, oh my God, in my head, oh my God, Robin Williams is standing next to me.
Did you go up and say?
I mean, there's just things like that. You just never knew who was going to pop up.
Was there any one guest that you truly were gobsmacked by that you had never thought? I mean, those are an amazing list of people, but was there anyone that stood out to you that you truly admired and were very impressed that you were able to say hello to?
I mean, there weren't, I can't really name one specifically in that way, but I mean, meeting Itzhak Perlman has been very special because, of course, I listened to his performing and his records, and they were actually records. And just meeting him, and over the years, getting to know him, and a very limited way, but still, fortunately, he invited me to go to lunch with him and some friends once, which was, very nice. And actually did that a couple of times. He required that people meet him at the gate, and it, after 9/11, it was very difficult to get to the gate to meet people.
Sure.
But we figured a way to do that legally. And so we were able to do that. So I did that for many years in a row, So I was like a familiar face, which I think was appreciated too. But yeah.
So he was a regular guest of the symphony?
James, the guy that used to do the interviews with the celebrities, and he had like these.
Oh, James Lipton.
James Lipton. He came. And
Yes.
I would say for me, I went the most fan crazy about him of all people that we've had, just because I loved that
Yeah.
show and I loved his questions and I
Right.
loved all of
Yes.
that. But
That was the Actor
the
Studio,
actor
right?
The
studio,
Actor Studio,
right?
yes.
I love that.
And they'd show those on Bravo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when we had him and James Earl Jones, I mean, meeting him was really interesting.
Wow.
He's very quiet. He's a very, very quiet person. Yeah, there's a lot.
So this career you've had had some major exposure for you to a lot of well-known people, also very talented people, and also very revered people in the music world.
Mhm.
So that's an amazing thing. So can we just slide over to you retired recently,
Yep.
correct? How's that going? And how was that transition for you? Because we do like to talk about that with a lot of our friends who are contemplating retirement or have retired already or have decided never to retire. So how is it going for you?
The first few weeks was really difficult for me. It was really, really hard. I equated to COVID where you're just cut off. And,
Right.
all of a sudden I didn't have email, I was always checking my emails for anything needed attention or something. And all of a sudden I didn't have that. And I didn't have any music gigs and I didn't have anything to do. And it gave me a realization that, oh my God, I really was a workaholic, I guess, because all of a sudden I have to figure out things to do. It was very difficult. It was very, very difficult.
Yes, it typically is very difficult.
Yeah, I would say the first month I had a gig in August. So I retired the end of June. So the month of July was very, very difficult for me. But once I started playing, that was good. And then I had a trip planned in September. I went to South Africa as my gift to myself for retirement.
Nice.
So I had that to look forward to. And then once that trip was done, then I had a lot more playing ahead of me. And I found that if I have something planned, no matter what it is, every day, at least I have something to do.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's more difficult for me to figure out what am I going to do today?
Right. But you also are still quite involved with the music world because I see you posting all the time. You're going to symphonies a lot. You go to quite a few as a guest.
Yes.
You go to
Yeah.
see quite a few. So you're still very much involved with the music
I
world,
am.
right?
I hope I don't annoy my former colleagues with coming
How
backstage
could you?
and
Why would
hanging out. It's just,
No, not at all. That was your family for many, many
It
years.
was.
So you
and I
don't
love
just
seeing the
abandon them, right?
musicians. I had a lot of opportunities to work with the musicians in the orchestra because I helped coordinate all the chamber concerts that they did. So I got to know quite a lot of them. And so it's always nice to see them backstage and on stage.
So as a former employee, you still have like a backstage pass, so to
I
speak,
do.
that you can still.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that's
And
great.
would you still have Seth MacFarlane's phone number, by the way?
Oh.
Okay, thanks.
In a minute, dear. In a minute. We're talking about Lisa now.
Yes, not me. Hello.
That's right.
So wait, go ahead, Gary. Sorry.
Like I say, so obviously music has been a huge part, and I'm glad that you still have a connection to it. So you've been traveling more, or at least I hear about more trips. You have one coming up. You squeeze this in before you head off to another trip.
So good of you.
Going to Barcelona, right?
Yes, I'm going to Barcelona for a week, Lyon for a week, and then I'm going to take a tour of, I guess, northern-ish Italy. I've never been to any of those places. So I'm staying with friends in Lyon, and then I'm going to somehow get myself to Italy for this tour. And then it's a organized tour, and it starts in Venice.
How many weeks are we talking about? Like 3 weeks?
I think it's a little over 3 weeks altogether. It's a long time.
But isn't it nice to have the opportunity to take the time to truly explore that way? Because most times of a European trip, you get 1 week off and you have to squeeze everything in 6 days or something. But now you have 3 weeks to do that.
I don't take as much time as my brother and sister-in-law. They go for 3 months at a time, wherever they go. So I'm working my way up to that, but I'm not ready.
Baby steps. So did you do a lot of traveling before, or now that you're retired, you're like, let's get going? I'm still mobile. I'm young. I can still do this. I mean, had you been to Europe before?
Yes, been to Europe many times. Our
Okay.
parents believed in vacations. Um, our dad was originally, he was born in Berlin, and our mom was from Cleveland, and she was in the Foreign Service. So she did a lot of traveling, and he did a lot of traveling before they met and were married. And we always went on vacations. Um, we went to Mexico. We would drive everywhere. We went to Mexico. One nice trip, my dad took a month off work and he borrowed his sister's Winnebago, and we went up to Canada and over to Montreal and
Wow.
then back through the United States for a month. So I was 10 when that happened, but that was an amazing trip. It was really fun.
And I think also, Lisa, because I was very similarly, my parents took me out of school to take longer trips, mostly to Europe because of our affiliation with an airline.
Nice.
So I have to say, you most likely appreciated, maybe not at the time, but a lot of times having been exposed to all that when you're a younger kid, you get a lot more exposure and get used to what other cultures are like and what they are. And I probably have an appreciation for everything that we have that other cultures might not have or anything. So I think traveling at a young age is actually a really great idea for kids.
Yeah, and even just traveling throughout the United States. I mean, there's so many different um, ways people do stuff in different parts of the country.
Right.
So, it's and the weather, just the weather alone is so different. And I'm always so happy to come
Right.
back to the Bay Area because it's like the perfect weather. It's never too hot, never too cold. It's just perfect.
Now, you mentioned your mother was in the Foreign Service. Wasn't one of your trips to kind of retrace some of her steps
Well, that
of where
was
she had been?
Africa because she worked in
That's what I thought.
South
Okay.
Africa. And I always was interested in going there. She also worked in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and I don't really have an interest to go there. And then she worked
Okay.
for 3 years in Mexico City. So someday
Okay.
I'll go there. She was in the same apartment building as Diego Rivera.
Oh,
She
Wow.
had her opportunity. She had cocktails with Truman or Eisenhower at the embassy in Mexico City. And so she had
wow.
her fun time with celebrities. And she certainly took advantage of coming backstage at the symphony. We had Rostropovich conducting, and she actually swooned when she met him.
Yeah.
How does one swoon?
You just, kind of,
Well,
sort of
to you, Don, we
fainting.
mentioned Seth MacFarlane and you swoon.
So it's kind of funny.
So you're enjoying your traveling and spending the time there. Is there a list, like a bucket list of places that you would like to go to while you're still able to?
Yeah, I haven't been to South America, so somewhere I've always wanted to go to Patagonia. And
Mm-hmm.
then Antarctica would be fun too, but it's really expensive, so I don't know about that one. I'd love to go up. I always thought Nova Scotia would be nice to see. I'd like to go to Alaska. I want to see the Northern Lights, so Norway, Finland, up there, Sweden. I wouldn't mind going back to Africa. It's such a huge country. There's so many places to see.
Right. Yeah, it's a big world, a lot of places
Yeah.
to see. I will say, with regard to Africa for a moment, because most of, not Africa, Alaska, that while most of the cruises leave out of Seattle, there is one that leaves out of San Francisco, which was totally convenient when I did that, 3 years ago, because I literally just walked down the Embarcadero to the cruise ship terminal and got on the ship. And it was 10 days there and back. And then I got off the boat and I just walked home. So you'd have to worry about flying somewhere else and so on. But the Alaska one, it's been on my bucket list for years. So finally had the opportunity to do it. But for people who haven't done it, the running joke, if you will, is they want to go before everything melts.
Oh, man.
There was a woman who was on, I didn't meet her, but when I went on my cruise, there was a woman who had done the same thing like 10 years prior. And she had compared photos of what it looked like then versus now. It was dramatically different. How much has disappeared. So that's an easy one because they go from like April to October-ish is the season. And so that I would say, if that's something on your list, I would say sooner rather than later, just because. I mean, That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Good 2 cents.
And you're going to Barcelona. Is this your first time to Barcelona?
Yes. Yeah.
There's so much to see. It's a beautiful city. I've been there 2 times, I think, at least 2 times. And Dawn, you've been there.
Yes.
Architecturally, in fact, one year I went was like they were celebrating Gaudí.
Mm.
And so I visited many of the big apartment building and the park that's across town, Park Güell is the name of the park. A beautiful park. So there's all kinds of stuff to see there. So I wish you luck on that because I love Barcelona. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I already have a ticket to see the Sagrada Familia or Familia Sagrada.
Yes.
And a friend of mine, she went on a food tour.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
fun.
I might do that. So yeah, there's a lot to enjoy in the weeks ahead.
And when you're in Italy, do you know if it includes like a cooking tour, cooking class? Because a lot of people like to do that.
Yeah.
They'll go to a foreign country and
think this
take a
tour
1-day class,
does
if you
that.
will, on cooking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think
Is that
this
something
one
you'd
is
like to do? Are you a cook?
I love to cook. Yeah, it's very good. My brother and sister go to Thailand every year, and I went once, and my brother reserved a cooking class, so we learned, which was great. It was so much fun, and it was like inside, outside. It was like there weren't any walls, and everyone had their own cooking station, and the teacher had the thing with the mirror, and you could follow along, and then you got to eat everything for lunch when you were done.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Nice.
it was really fun.
So, Lisa, so question, switching back to the retirement thing and us getting a bit older, did you ever experience any kind of ageism in the workplace or any kind of people treating you differently because of your age ever when
No.
you were working?
I mean, most people think I'm younger than I am, so I haven't
for
really
you.
ever had that at all. It's weird being called
Good for
ma'am,
you.
but that's a personal thing.
Don't I know it?
I hate when that happens to me.
Me too. I hate it when they call me.
It's
Yeah, the first time
I'm not a
you're
man,
called
I'm a sir.
man, it's like, I don't know. I'm not ready for that.
And when they assume that you should get the senior discount at the movie theater or at the Sizzler?
That I don't mind getting a discount.
I do.
When I turned 55, a friend of mine is like, "Oh, you can get the discount at IHOP now. Let's go." I was like, "What?" So we went to IHOP, and I was like, "I'm 55. I get the discount." They're like, "Okay." So
And you've probably never been to an IHOP before.
or
never wanted
since,
to.
but
Right.
I was looking forward.
That's funny.
Well, I went to a movie.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Like I said, I went to a movie theater once, and the young kid who was selling a ticket asked if I was eligible for the senior discount. I'm like, what's senior discount? He told me the age, and I think I was. I said yes. And it's like, it was only 25 cents less. Like, really? That's it? Please. Give me a real discount.
I know. I'm taking my age back.
I digress.
Forget how old I am.
Yes.
Well, my friend Steve drug us to the Sizzler out in Beaumont when we were going to Palm Springs. He's like, I want to go because he likes the cheesy bread or something. It's like, I hadn't been to the Sizzler since the 70s.
Right. Wow.
And he goes in, he says, because he gets the senior discount there. And I was in the back of the line looking at what to order. He said, hey, Don, how old are you? They want to know so we can give you the senior discount across the friggin' restaurant.
Got a lot of
Sure,
nerve.
you love that.
Yeah, right? So I told him I'm 47. I don't get a discount. They give it to me anyway.
But I do want the cheesy bread.
Yeah, no, I've been fortunate. I have never really felt
That's good.
any ageism issues.
So speaking of age, one question we ask is if you could go back and give your younger self some advice, and you pick the age, 18, 25, whatever, what advice would you give your younger self?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, because
I don't know.
just to give you an idea, some people would say, oh, I wish I had, had more confidence, and I wish I spoke up more. I mean, for me, I would always be the one that I don't want to ruffle any feathers. So I'm just going to stay in my lane, not say anything. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? that's not right. Someone should say something or do something. And so I'm more likely to say or do something now than I would have years ago. Or another thing would be I would very self-conscious about what people think about me, right? So I again stay in that zone of not stepping outside the box for fear that somebody would mock me or whatever. And now, like if I'm going to the grocery store, I'm wearing sweats. I don't care. I'm just gonna go get some milk. I don't need to like impress anyone. So it could be a change in attitude or change in self-confidence or whatever that is. So you maybe don't have to give yourself advice. Maybe everything went well during your youth.
I've just had a perfect life, and no. I mean, for the moment, I can't really think of anything I would tell myself. Maybe be a little more confident in certain aspects.
Yeah, I think that's a very common one. I think we're all like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I can't really. I've gotten along pretty well. I've had a pretty good life.
Okay.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't meet a special person to have a long-term relationship with, but that's nothing I don't know.
I'm a member of that club.
Yeah. I mean, but I've gotten over that too. I'm very comfortable,
Yeah.
just living my life.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you continue with music in your life. You own a home, which is great. A lot of us can't say that. You live in the Bay Area, which you really enjoy. You get to travel. I mean, so yeah.
Yeah.
And you found time to do some volunteer work.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah, I just started.
Which is near and dear to my heart.
I just started volunteering every so often at the Seth MacFarlane Food Bank, which is very rewarding and exhausting at the same time. And then I volunteer at the Pigeon Point Lighthouse, which I love doing because it's such a pretty area.
Because you've been doing that for quite a while, since for 11 plus years, I think.
That's what LinkedIn says.
What got you started there?
When I moved.
Well, if it's written down, it must be true. Yes.
Especially if I wrote it down, it's got to be true.
Right. Well, that's what you said.
When I moved here to Half Moon Bay, I think I was just driving around, and I drove down south and saw the lighthouse, and I never really stopped here. I'm going to stop here and go down the path, and they have a nice deck that looks out on the ocean, and there was a docent there knitting, and we just started talking, and I was like, oh, so how long have you been, volunteering, and what do you do? And she's like, oh, well, there's going to be a docent class coming up. Here's the number to call if you're interested. So I thought about it, and I called, and it was like a 5-week, every Saturday class, and the teacher was amazing. She was great. And then I just started working there, and they only required 1 day a month. And that was like, well, I can do that. I can come up with 1 day a month.
And it's not that far from where you live.
So, to meet the minimum requirement. But now that I'm retired, I go a few times a month. And so, yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's convenient. It's not that far from where you live.
Yeah, it's not that far. And it's always a pretty ride. And
it is. I'd not been there before, but once I found out you were volunteering there, I've been there 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But never when you're there. It's usually,
Well,
do you love living in Half Moon Bay, Lisa? Because I know that's a beautiful part of the Bay Area. It's just gorgeous.
It is. It's been really nice. I mean, it's very rural. I'm very fortunate that my backyard looks onto a horse farm. So I have nothing but fields behind my house. I have neighbors on either side. I'm in a development, but looking out my back window, there's just nature, which I love. And during COVID, when people weren't coming over here, they hadn't really discovered that they could come over here. It was really easy to cross Highway 1 and just walk over to the ocean. So that was a really wonderful benefit of living here. And then just, working in the city and then coming home, it's the city's busy place. And then coming here, it's, farmlands and the ocean. And it's very peaceful. It's very nice, very quiet. Yeah, I love it. Very happy here.
Hey, like going on your hikes there on the ocean?
Yeah, they have a great coastal trail, and it's a nice community.
Mm-hmm.
Their downtown is very cute.
Yeah, town's cute, and lots of good restaurants.
I enjoy going there. Yeah.
But I like the nature. I'm a nature girl, so I like that.
Lisa, is there anything that you wish people would stop asking you besides the senior discount question?
Oh, No, I don't mind
No?
people
Okay.
asking me anything, whether I'll answer.
I don't like people asking me how old I am. I just don't like that.
Well, they can ask me, and I'll tell them how old you are. So I have
Well,
no
you're
problem with that.
47. That's
Fine.
what I heard. So
Right. That's exactly correct because that's in writing. It's in the internet, so it must
that's
be
right.
true.
Yeah. I mean, if you write it down yourself,
If
doesn't
this
mean it's
were
not true. So
if
Right.
this were recorded 18 years ago. But go ahead, Don. What?
Do you have any issues with technology? Because a lot of people make fun of us boomers not being able to find our remote or figure out what our phone does. Do you have any issues with technology?
I don't. My philosophy is that we're smarter than the machines. So whenever, like when I
Yes.
was at work and something happened to the Xerox machine and people get frustrated, it's like, we're smarter than the Xerox machine. We can figure this out. And, so I find myself pretty good at tech stuff, but it's always good to have a
That's
younger
good.
person around because they
I
can answer
know.
questions that you might not know the answer to.
They
Even
know a
though
lot
they
of
call you
words.
It's
ma'am.
even if they call me ma'am. Yeah. No.
There's a lot of words they use I don't know.
That's true. I still don't know what 6'7" means. I have no idea what that means.
I don't either. I heard that the other day, 6'7".
Yeah. It was a
And
thing
Riz,
like
do you
a
know what
few
Riz
months
is?
ago, 6'7", and I have no idea
Okay.
what it means.
Well, now I
Yeah.
have to look it up.
And Riz.
Someone made a reference to it, and I looked it up, and I don't think I understood what it meant.
Yeah,
But
I don't. Yeah. Good luck.
while I looked that up, I have a question for you that we ask all of our guests because we are in the 60 Club, and we've got to a certain point in our life. Is there something that you ain't nobody got time for that anymore? Anything you just don't want to put up with anymore, don't have time for, don't have the patience for anymore?
Oh, I pretty much don't have patience for other drivers. Other drivers
Okay.
are just,
Yes.
they're crazy. People are crazy. I'm driving just down one, going the speed limit. It's not fast enough. People want to be going like they're on 280. And
Yep.
one time I was coming through the tunnel, which was where Double Slide is, and I was going the speed limit, and this car passed me on the right, and there's no passing lane on the right. It just like, I wasn't going fast enough. It just zoomed right by me. I was just like, what the heck? What is going on? Then yesterday, some idiot pulled out in front of me to cross over all the lanes, and I was literally 2 feet from hitting his rear end. He just was
Of
just
course.
like, oh my
Wow.
God. I swore.
Couldn't be
I swore just a
bothered.
little bit. Just a little bit. But yeah, other drivers, just I don't have time for them. They're just awful.
Late to that.
Well, you'll be happy to know that 6'7", it says no real meaning. It's nonsense. Primarily, a 6'7" has no fixed literal definition. It is a brain rot meme, a nonsensical, repetitive phrase used by kids to create an inside joke that intentionally confuses adults.
Well, that works.
It works.
When they say
It works.
when they say 6'7", so when they say 6'7", you go 4'3", and turn around and walk away.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
So there you
looking
go.
that up and setting it straight.
Well, I'm glad I did because I'd be thinking about it on my drive down to San Mateo to see my mom today.
And did you know that Riz means charisma?
Oh.
Like they got Riz.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that comes
Yeah.
up.
I didn't know we had so much Riz though. Did you?
I did. You two definitely have
I did.
Riz.
Well, now we all know.
Yes, yes. So how are the 60s treating you guys? Turn it back on you.
Well, that's
Well,
a
that's
nice
not
time.
fair. It's
Thanks
not
for
about
talking
us.
to me. Talk to you later. Bye, Lisa. It's great meeting you on.
Look at the time. Well, like I said earlier, I used when I was younger, I cared more about doing the right thing, saying the right thing, not doing this, not doing that. Now I'm just like, I don't care. So that's the one thing of me. I'm thinking ahead to when I retire, and that might be 3.5 years from now, because I'll be 64 this year. So I'm shooting for 67. But then, I'd like to, can I really last that long? So that's like an internal conversation I'm having. But other than that, I'm good. Obviously, stress here and there, but who doesn't have stress in their life about different things? Trying to be good about health-wise and, make sure I pay my bills and because I got, like everyone else, mortgage and insurance and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, but I can't complain. There are people that are a lot worse off.
Hmm.
Coming out of the pandemic, there are people that lost their jobs or got furloughed. I got cut back in hours, but eventually, 5 years later, got brought back to full time. So I just had to be patient. So that was challenging, but, again, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
If things had gone a much different way, I maybe would have had to sell my house. Of course, I would have moved back with mom, which she would have loved. But
Your mom's like your mom.
Yeah.
But yes, I will go see her later today.
One thing.
But Don, what about you? Yes?
I'm sorry. It's going back to me now. One thing that
Yeah, let's do it.
God.
my friends admire, I think, is that I'm still friends with a group of people from high school, because I know a lot of
Really?
people that do not have that same connection.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone left from high school, and we have this really great group of people that have stayed in touch or gotten back in touch, and, we're able to do things together or just be in touch with each other and see how everyone's doing and care about each other. And I think that's a rare and a very special thing that we're very fortunate for. I have the same thing with college friends. I have a lot of college friends, and I think it's because of the music. Because, you run into them at gigs, you haven't seen them for a few years, but you're right back, where you were the last time you saw them. You just have a history. And
exactly.
I think that's super special to
for
have
sure.
that.
Yeah. And we're lucky in that, at least in the Bay Area, there's a lot of people that have stayed in the Bay Area. Right. And if they don't, Dawn flew up for your party.
Yeah.
Jamie, who lives on the East Coast, has come out a couple times. She's coming again in September.
Right.
So when we know her dates, we'll let everybody know and try and do a get together. So the dogs. So there is definitely a still connection, and we're lucky that we're able to get together when we can for a dinner or this or that.
Sorry, he had to come
Which
in.
one is that?
That's Rocket.
Okay.
It's very camera shy. Sorry about that. Anyway,
so Don, any other questions? Are we ready to wrap it up, or do you have any other?
We're ready
questions?
to wrap it up. I think if it's okay with you, I want to throw the lightning round at you. It's very easy questions, and you don't have to have an answer for all of them. So if you don't have an answer, just say pass.
Okay. Do I get a prize when it's over? Or?
Absolutely. Okay. You get paid highly. Awesome. If you answer all of these questions correctly, and I'm the only one that knows the correct answers, then you'll have to repeat the questions backwards in alphabetical order, and then you win the prize. How about that? Ready?
Okay.
Okay. It's easy. Red wine, white wine, champagne, beer, or nothing?
Sangria.
That wasn't on the list, but okay.
That's what she likes. Next question.
Movies, comedy, horror, or romance?
Drama.
Okay. Morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Cats or dogs?
Depends.
Okay. Sweet snacks or savory snacks?
Depends.
Nothing in your inbox or hundreds of emails?
Hundreds of emails, but they're all read.
Okay. Sushi or tacos?
Depends.
Okay. Do you do the cooking or do you do the dishes?
Both.
Okay. Celebrity gossip or true crime?
Let's go gossip.
Okay.
Yes.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Okay.
Lisa.
Coke or Pepsi?
Neither now. Used to be Diet Coke.
Okay, good. Done. Guess what? You didn't answer any one of those questions the way I wanted you to, so you get no prize.
Oh, well. I had to
Actually,
be
you're
honest.
the first one that's done.
I had to be me.
No, I know, but what's actually really refreshing is that you answered them the way you would answer them, not necessarily the option that I gave you. So you're very much an individual positive thinker on your own, and that deserves a prize.
Yay!
Nobody puts Lisa in
That's
a corner.
right. You can't box me.
Lisa with a Z. It's Lisa with a Z, not Lisa with an S, because Lisa with an S goes nuts. I love that.
Well, so many people
Sorry.
write my name with a Z because my last name starts with a Z.
Really?
So they substitute the S in Lisa with a Z. So
Anyway, you did great. You did great. Check's in the mail. Swear to God.
I'll be waiting.
Okay.
Hopefully this is enjoyable, not too painful.
It was great. It was great.
Well, see, all the nerves went away, right?
You weren't nervous, were you? What would you be nervous about?
Well, you never know.
It's just us.
I was nervous. No, kidding. I'm always nervous. I'm a nervous
No,
Nelly.
this is very nice. Thank you for inviting me to.
Well, thank you for joining us. This was
Always
fun.
good to see you, Lisa. I look forward to Gary's next party that he's going to figure out, right, Gary? Because you're in charge of that now.
Yes, there's a pressure to do something in April and May, and
Well, wait till May because then
I
I'll
think they
be
want
back.
to do. Oh, that's
Because
right.
it's
Okay,
about
she's
me,
back.
nobody
Barcelona.
else.
You got that right.
Apparently. That's why your name's on the title of the episode. And we're back.
And we're back. Well, that was a fun interview with Lisa. Good to see her. And I'm excited for her trip.
Yes, I know, but you say she didn't seem nervous to me.
No.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean, she is, I always, think of her as a little shy. So just like, oh, what would she even said, like, I won't have anything to say. No, she had lots to say. And
We couldn't stop her from talking.
Has an amazing career.
Yes.
She's enjoying her retirement. She's doing some traveling. She keeps in touch with us. So, I mean, come on, who wouldn't want that?
And the pay is incredible.
Right.
So she just want to come back to get paid again.
Yeah. She'll have a return visit to us.
So we can call her Lisa and the Cult Jam, Lisa with a Z, or Lisa Pizza,
Or Lisa-licious.
Lisa-licious. Guess what, Lisa? You ready to close this out, though?
I think we are. So that wraps up a very busy week for us recording.
Yeah.
We are
Yes.
front-loading all our recordings. We have some amazing guests that we've recorded. We have more coming. And then every once in a while, you and I will do, we'll go solo and
Yes.
talk just about us. We have some, we'll be doing a little trip down memory lane with Hollywood and the loss of a lot of big names.
Yes.
And we'll focus on one person in particular and
Very excited.
some of her movies. We'll talk about that. We talked about maybe doing a thing about favorite comedies. Last night on TV was The Ritz with Rita Moreno.
Yes.
So I stayed up late watching that again for like the umpteenth times. That was fun. But anyway.
I had a dream. I dream about you, baby. I love that. Not that I know the movie.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But anyway, so we have, we'll be talking more about retirement, a lot of interesting topics coming up with guests or without. So tune in. You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Our main hosting page, Pod page, has all of the platforms listed where you can leave comments. You can call and leave a recording. You can email us, DawnandGaryDoing60@gmail.com. And of course, on social media, you'll see us on Instagram and Facebook. We're everywhere.
Yeah. Wherever.
So,
good job.
So that's my closing. You have any pithy words to end this
No,
with?
just we'll see you next time, assuming our naps don't run long.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks, Gary. You did a great job hosting today. I want to say that we pay you well, but you already are paid very well. So keep doing up the good hosting job. Good. Keep doing that.
I'm paid well.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.